Well, well, well. Here I thought the wokescold problem on Twitter had kind of died down ever since Elon Musk bought the platform and turned it into a Nazi hellscape. But as it turns out, the only lefties that can really seem to get much traction with their posts and their going after people on Twitter these days are the lefties who spend all their time going after other lefties for stupid bullshit. The wokescolds, that is. Like, absolutely the worst possible case scenario with these Twitter changes. That said, the wokescolds are back on their shit, and worse than ever, in my opinion. You see, I've got a group of friends on Twitter. I've got a large, sort of lefty poster friend group, a group of people who generally, they tend to have good opinions, they tend to be based, and they tend not to be too, terminally online and cringe, right? The issue is, when you are based on the internet, when you are based in the online left, you are going to get shit for it. That is the reality of the internet. Being based and correct all the time will garner you a lot of hate. Like, a lot of hate. That said, a good friend of mine, Euphori Tori, or Victoria as you may know her, very well-known Twitter poster in the lefty sphere, she had some tweets dug up from over 10 years ago, from when she was a literal kid, and those tweets are racist. Obviously, she's not racist now. She's a trans, lefty, progressive socialist, but back in the day, she grew up in a far-right family that indoctrinated her into racism. And then when she grew up and gained independence from said family, she was able to break out of that, de-radicalize, and no longer be racist. And it's been a very long time since she was racist. As a matter of fact, she literally grew up in a far-right religious cult. I'm not even kidding, like a literal far-right religious cult, like some Far Cry 5 shit. Wait, was Far Cry 5 the one with Juan Carlos Esposito, or was it Far Cry 4? The one where you're in, like, redneck land, and it's like the religious cult. That's Far Cry 6? Far Cry 5 is the cult? Okay, I got it right. Okay, yeah. Literally some Far Cry 5 shit, okay? Like, just hardcore religious trauma, no doubt. Abusive parents and an abusive family. In a situation like that, there's not really much you can do other than grow up, gain independence, and then realize racism is wrong and then stop being racist. You were forced into it as a child and you knew no better, right? Here's the problem, though. A lot of lefties are something called morally lucky. I was unfortunately hit with the reality today, the stark reality, that many people in the online left nowadays don't even know what that word means. So we're going to go ahead and define it very quickly. This is from Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. This is their entry on moral luck. Moral luck occurs when an agent can be correctly... I'm going to word this in a way that isn't philosophy major-brained. Moral luck occurs when somebody can be correctly treated as an object of moral judgment. God, I hate how... okay, I'm going to just explain it in English then, okay? Being morally lucky is basically when, throughout your upbringing and the environment that you were surrounded in your early life, your influences led you to a certain set of moral ideas. Moral ideas that are just correct, like the correct moral positions, the good ones. Like you grew up with good parents, good family members, good friends, good influences that just helped you grow into a good person. You didn't have bad influences growing up. You didn't, like, racism and bigotry, things like that are taught. You weren't taught those things. A lot of lefties are morally lucky. They were never indoctrinated into far-right propaganda. They've never even heard far-right propaganda most of the time. And because of that, they see somebody who could have ever been racist at any point, even if they're not now, as a lesser human being morally. It is unironically kind of like original sin, if you think about it. A lot of the people you're going to see me cover today that are engaging in this drama unironically believe that all white people have an inherent desire for power over non-white people, and that that has to be like, you're either born like that Like either you're one of the white people inherently born with the desire to oppress minorities and gain power over minorities, or you're one of the few white people who's born like an ally, quote unquote. That is really unironically how these people seem to think. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the start of all of this was with like a bunch of tweets from Victoria's getting dug up, and she ended up responding to it saying, for some reason, people are digging up decade-old tweets in an attempt to dunk on me, and now I'm going to respond. For 23 years of my life, I was isolated and indoctrinated to be a far-right Christian by my parents. She goes on, but I'm going to first feature this reply, and the response to this reply to give you an idea of how horrible the response to this has been. Ratbite Baby, friend of mine, replies, I'm glad I wasn't on Twitter when I was still in Catholic school. I did not have good opinions back then, but these are the same people who claim to care about rehabilitation. It's annoying. My Catholic school friends aren't racist. Okay, and I wasn't either. Neither did I say I was. I went to Catholic school and none of my friends were racist. Did I miss that section or something? Oh yeah, it's so annoying when someone calls out your racism. Bummer. What people are you talking about? Y'all all have that same pitiful look when being racist or blaming parents for what you did. You'll see a lot of this. They say that you're blaming your parents and can't take responsibility for your racism. Like, you should have rebelled from your parents automatically knowing racism was wrong when they taught it to you. Because plenty of POC are Christian or evangelical Christian or Catholic without being racist, so it kind of feels like an excuse. We all read the same book but didn't come to the same conclusions, it seems. Let me ask you this. What anti-racism efforts have you lent your time to? Notice how I'm not even having to look for these tweets. Like, these are just the replies. These are just the overwhelming majority of the replies. And it's what Twitter is pushing. Sad violin. Okay, we've got insults. Don't even apologize for her actions. Just blame her parents. We don't owe you motherfuckers forgiveness or your rehabilitation. How about you work on becoming a better person for yourself and not needing the harmed people's validation? Block list speedrun. Oh, I've run a block list on every person who liked these tweets. Absolutely. And a lot of the people who posted them. Must be nice to know that being white gives you a pass for being gives you a pass for past racist behavior. As long as you can blame your parents, you don't even have to apologize. What is annoying is being a black teenager surrounded by racist degenerates like you that will later call it a phase without acknowledging the damage their racism caused to innocent black people. You were incredibly disingenuous replying to people stating I was not racist when your apologist tweets. Wait, she didn't even say she wasn't racist. She said she was indoctrinated into racism and had to grow out of it. They're literally, like, it's literally just, they'll read whatever the fuck they want to. You understand now why I take absolutely no criticism from the left, right? I do not, at this point, I heed absolutely no criticism from the left. It comes from nobody who wants what's best for you. It is only from people that want to have parasocial power over you. People like Thought Slime, people like Sophie from Mars, people like the Serfs, they have buckled to these people. I have not. Been to Catholic elementary school, high school, and college, and I wasn't like this BS excuse. Oh, you're such a good ally. So all you motherfuckers was racist, and black leftists are supposed to feel comfortable around you motherfuckers? Y'all rehabilitate from racism? Lamau, white people are a joke. You are not a racist because of Catholic school, you are just a racist. Notice how it's like, the tweet literally says I had bad opinions back then, and now it's people insisting that she apologized for having bad opinions back then and saying she's currently racist. You can never not be racist. If you were ever racist, then that is a moral scar on you. If the only people that can ever be racist, in their view, are bad people. If you were ever racist at any point, that is because you are a bad person fundamentally who is vulnerable to that radicalization. They don't believe there's any such thing as right-wing radicalization and alt-right pipeline. They don't believe in the idea of the right pumping billions of dollars into media meant to radicalize people into the far-right ideas by pushing misinformation. They believe that racism and bigotry is an inherent thing that comes from people's inherent evil, which essentially makes racism impossible to fight. That's the thing. These people's view of racism is a racism that is impossible to fight. Like, you literally just have to kill racists to end racism at that point, which these people do believe. Like, these people think you're racist and want to kill you. That is why, like I've gotten tons of death threats from these people. It's why I'm buying a ton of guns. So, like, yeah, it has become the norm as a rational lefty online to regularly be inundated with harassment and death threats from people like this. I went to Catholic school too. How did I miss the racism portion? You big YouTube, or sorry, white, it's not YouTube. I read YT as like an acronym or like short for YouTube, but it's actually what Hoteps say when they mean white. You white crackers are insufferable. I might get banned from Twitch for saying crackers there, but I don't care. Listen, I'm Floridian, I'm allowed to say it. Dude, if anyone's allowed to say cracker, white Floridian people are allowed to say it. Like, literally, Floridians are crackers. Like, it's literally part of our cultural identity. I don't think you realize, like, Twitch, if you ban me, you're literally engaging in cultural, like, fucking bigotry. Like, look up Florida cracker. It's literally the name of Floridian white settlers. And everything in Florida is called Florida Cracker Kitchen, Florida Cracker Country, Florida Cracker Boat Port. Like, oh my god, it's everywhere. Yep, it's not even a meme. It's not even a meme. I'm here for the Xan ban. To be fair, I really don't give a shit about getting banned from Twitch. Anyway, if you're wondering about the people who started this attack against Tori, it's someone who you might recognize. Who remembers this hashtag say her name discourse? When a young trans woman by the name of Brianna J was murdered, and trans people on Twitter started saying hashtag say her name to get attention brought to the fact that, you know, hate crimes against trans people are on the rise, and news media articles were refusing to spread around her, or to push, like, actually say her name. They were dead naming her in many cases, or just, like, referring to her, like, in a weird, vague way. One of the people who pushed the idea that using that hashtag was cultural appropriation or, like, anti-black or some shit like that was a Twitter user by the name of Tumisha. Here she is. She seems to have a real problem. I assume she, her? Yeah, she, they pronouns. I assume she seems to have a real problem with trans women, I've noticed. Like a real problem with trans women. Like, every time this woman's in like the forefront of the discourse, it's because she's gathered a shit ton of people on the left to hate on like a white trans woman. She hates mixed-race relationships, too. She's actually just a Nazi. Yeah. So basically, Brianna Wu tweets, growing up in a progressive family is privilege when you are queer. Some people are going after my friend Euphoria Tori because she had some cringe tweets a decade ago before she snapped out of her right-wing upbringing. Y'all can fuck right off with this nonsense. The very valid reply. Ah, yes, the privilege of being a black queer person and watching white queer people celebrate the murders and lynchings of black people. Growing up in a progressive family. Ah, yes, the privilege of being black. Progressive equals black. Notice, this is the same thought process the right uses. When this person says woke, they mean black. Guess who else means black when they say woke? Yeah. So, the blatant dishonesty and the fact these people are just, like, vitriolic, abusive scumfucks is, like, very, very good reason for why, right off the bat, it should be clear, there is not a hint of validity in any of these attacks. And, like, she has been getting, oh my god. If I scroll up through Tori's replies, we've got these replies. These were the ones that Twitter can show. All very stupid, all hate replies. I do not consider these people to be part of our political movement. These are not leftists in the sense that they are on the side of progressivism winning. These are slimy, disgusting little scumfucks who use progressivism as their weapon to engage in online abuse. These are bad people, fundamentally. Full, uncritical support to Victoria. Uncritical support to Victoria. Euphoria Tory's Twitter. I am dropping it right now in the chat. Go follow, go send support, because Jesus fucking Christ. This shit is downright deranged and just beyond the pale. And I just hate the fact that every couple weeks I have to see something like this go down, where I see now the most loud seen leftists on Twitter. Notice how you saw how many likes some of these tweets got, right? These are some of the most liked tweets I've seen from lefty accounts since Elon bought Twitter. These are the people on the left that Twitter is boosting now. Do you know why Elon's doing this? If Elon can make half the site into Tumblr at its worst, and the other half into 4chan at its worst, it will be non-stop engagement. And he can't prevent ads from leaving the platform, and he can't get ads to come to the platform while also keeping up his right-wing collaboration thing that he's doing. What he can do, though, is keep engagement on the platform so high that it just kind of barely slows the platform's decay. And that's what he's doing. All content on Twitter now is controversial content. That is what gets boosted. Oh yeah, I already pushed it in chat, Sam. But yeah, it's just full uncritical support to Euphoria Tory, and I think it's important for us to never forget that there is a sizable portion of the left that just hates lefty content creators that aren't insane and bad, who will find any way to take us down, and you guys just gotta be, keeping an eye out for that. They're literally not above anything, they will falsify screenshots. They'll do anything. So this is a group to keep your eye on. That's all I'm saying. These people are insane. Go send support. And if they're sending death threats, which many of them are, then please consider reporting them. Maybe Twitter will do something about it. Maybe.